1. What is an RCBO? An RCBO is equal to Residual Current Breaker with Overcurrent Protection. It combines an RCD, Residual Current Device Earth Leakage Detector, and an MCB, Miniature Circuit Breaker Overcurrent Protector, into one device. So it protects against earth leakage, shock fire risk, and overload short circuit on the same circuit. Two main parts, internally. Toroidal core plus secondary sensing coil measures imbalance between live and neutral residual current. Magnetic trip unit, instantaneous trip on high short circuit current. Thermal, bimetal, thermal magnetic element trips on prolonged overload. Mechanical trip mechanism and handle opens contacts and provides visible on-off. Test button creates an artificial leakage so you can check the RCD function. 3. How the current flows, normal. Live and neutral conductors pass together through the toroidal core. Under normal operation, magnetic fields from live and neutral cancel net flux 0 no output from sensing coil no residual trip. 4. Earth leakage, residual, trip step by step. 1. A fault causes some current to flow to earth, example, person touching live or an insulation fault. 2. Live current is not equal to neutral return, imbalance. 3. Net flux in the toroid is not equal to 0 sensing coil produces a voltage current proportional to the imbalance. 4. That signal activates the trip actuator, the breaker opens and disconnects the circuit. 5. The device sensitivity is the rated residual current in common values 10 mA, 30 mA, 100 mA, 300 mA depending on protection need. 30 mA is typical for personal protection. 5. Overcurrent trip, short circuit overload, step by step. Short circuit, magnetic very high current creates a strong magnetic force in the magnetic trip unit trips almost instantly, millisecond range. Overload, thermal moderate overcurrent heats a bimetal strip. When it bends enough it actuates the trip slower, designed to allow short surges, motors, but trip on sustained overload. MCB trip characteristics are given by curve types B, C, D. B curve, trips at ~3, 5 times in, good for resistive loads, lighting. C curve, ~5, 10 times in, general circuits, motors with moderate inrush. D curve, ~10, 20 times in, high inrush equipment. 6. How RCBO decides which to use. If imbalance detected residual, RCD, trip mechanism activates regardless of overcurrent state. If overcurrent detected, thermal magnetic mechanism acts regardless of residual. Both trips are independent but share the same mechanical trip mechanism and contacts. 7. Wiring and installation, basic. Incoming live and neutral feed through the RCBO's terminals and through the toroidal core. Earth is connected to the circuit's earth bar. RCBO does not pass earth through the core. Ensure correct orientation of L and N as per device marking. RCBO usually mounted on thin rail in consumer unit, 1 RCBO per protected circuit. 8. Testing and commissioning. Push the test T button. This introduces a small leakage and must trip the device, manual functional test. Do this after installation and periodically, monthly is common advice. Use an RCD tester for a proper trip time trip current test if mandatory for your installation or local code. After any work on the circuit, verify RCBO operation and that connected equipment restarts safely. Safety note: never rely only on the test button for full verification in safety-critical installations. Proper electrical test equipment and compliant procedures are recommended. 9. How to select an RCBO, quick guide. Rated current, in choose based on expected load, example, 6 a 10 a 16 a 20 a 30 to a 40 a. Trip curve, BCD depending on load in rush characteristics. Residual sensitivity, in 30 mA common for human protection, 10 mA for extra sensitive, medical, higher values, 100 by 300 mA for fire-only protection. Breaking capacity, ensure it can interrupt prospective fault current at your supply. Type RCBO. AC detects pure AC leakage, A detects AC plus pulsating DC. B is required for certain electronics EV chargers, variable speed drives, detects DC and high frequency components. 10. Advantages of RCBO over separate MCB plus RCD. Per circuit protection, no nuisance tripping from unrelated circuits. Smaller footprint in consumer unit, single device. Faster fault location, circuit that trips is equal to problem circuit. Protection for both overload short and earth leakage in one device. 11. Limitations, things to watch. RCBOs are more expensive than separate MCBs or a shared RCD. In complex systems, nuisance trips can still occur if loads produce leakage currents. Some sensitive electronic loads may require Type A or Type B RCBOs. Must match RCBO breaking capacity to supply fault level. 12. Practical safety tips. Label each RCBO circuit clearly in the consumer unit. Use RCBOs on circuits with sockets outlets and circuits supplying outdoor equipment, bathrooms, kitchen, and anywhere personal protection is critical. Test after installation and periodically. If RCBO trips repeatedly, don't just reset, investigate overload, short, or persistent earth leakage. Thanks for watching. This is powering your knowledge one spark at a time.